Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, this is from Xeno Exposed, and it is in court. It's from, as I said, Xeno Exposed, Scientology chilling propaganda tape for parents. So this is the garbage that is given to parents to talk them into basically not sending their children to school. I think it's probably the beginning of just them basically giving their children away, sacrificing.
Have you ever had an opportunity to listen to any tapes prepared by the Church of Scientology?
Yes, they have quite a few tapes that they put out.
Have you ever had an opportunity to listen to a tape? See if you recognize this particular tape.
This is a tape called Can We Ever Be Friends? And I bought this tape for my parents. My parents were objecting to my involvement in Scientology because I had suggested to my parents that I was thinking of dropping out of school, and my parents were very upset about that.
As they should be. And the name of the propaganda tape is Can We Be Friends? Which apparently the FBI, the government, the police, nobody seems to understand anything about this. They're just brain dead.
They declared me a PTS, potential trouble source. And they said that this tape could handle my PTS condition. If I give this tape to my parents, I'll be able to calm them down and my PTS condition would go away.
Does this tape discuss the benefits of public education?
This tape basically explains to my parents that you can't blame me for wanting to drop out of school. It paints a picture of public education as being a harmful thing, and therefore...
Also, too, I want to point out that is the Aleister Crowley magic. They're inverting everything. School's not good. Everything is inverted.
You have no right to object to my wanting to abandon school.
Do you know where that part is on that tape?
I believe it's queued up. We can check and see. It should be queued up.
And you've had an opportunity to listen to this tape?
Yes, I have.
A casual tour of some modern schools or universities can make the observer wonder why any decent child or person would consent to stay in one today. Teachers and security guards beaten and killed. Students glaze-eyed with drugs draped across doorways and desks. It can be a desperate arena. And the subjects taught are often not subjects anymore, but Confucians. Reading, writing, and arithmetic seem to have become perplexity, illiteracy, and mystification. In the war-mad days of 19th century Germany, the psychologists spawned the technology of degrading all men to animals.
Degrading. As if all of the stuff that goes on in Scientology is not related whatsoever to the NAZI regime. Hello? Anybody see the parallels, the similarities? Brave New World, all that kind of stuff.
Is in charge of your schools today. It is compulsory training in every grade and teacher level to regard all students and friends as treacherous beasts and atheists. Where the older generation did not stem this rape of education, should they criticize members of the younger generations who draw aside from the beast to attack it in the flank and try...
The beast. What a great word they wanted to choose right there.
To civilize the monster they're better supported and helped create. schools the taxes pay for today are not the schools the older generation has such fond memories of. Busted, beaten, and dismayed. Go.
Also, too, this reminds me of two different things. One, I remember when I was younger, I listened to this Christian tape that was given to me by a friend, and it scared the living shit out of me. I was living in the Bible Belt, and it was telling me how there's demons underneath my bed and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, very much in that kind of same tone, that same language. Oh, and it's so, like the tonation. You know how they, I don't know, what's that word, like how they pronounce the words. And then, oh, I forgot my other thought. I'll think of it later.
Nowhere, learning nothing at vast parental expense. One need not be very questioning as to why a student would bolt his school and go to people who can teach and who are making inroads with school reform. One can hide and pretend and say, without any inspection of evidence, that Scientology is not doing anything about it. The facts, statistics, and rooms full of documents prove that Scientology is doing something about it.
Scientology is doing something about it. Because they need a way to enslave children, to enslave the adults, keep the parents and the children separated. Yes, the parents are complicit in this, but it's just like a slow drip, a slow drip of mind control.
That's the end of that side of the tape.
Thank you. Did you yourself believe that public education, as described, was not appropriate for you after being enrolled in Scientology?
Yes.
Were you allowed to have contact with your parents as a member?
The contact became more and more controlled to the point where every time I called my parents, there would be a Scientologist sitting next to me, coaching me and listening to the conversation and coaching me on what to say.
That one reminds me of how in Jenna Miscavige's book, Rathburn was overseeing her auditing session. That was, I do believe there was some sexual questions in that auditing session that she got. But, all the coaching, because he was coaching her. But nobody knows anything.
Why would they do that, if you know?
Well, I believe they were afraid that if I spoke to my parents might convince me to leave Scientology. That if I was allowed to freely communicate with them, that's what would happen.
And there you go. So apparently, his parents were not in Scientology. Those are usually the ones that have some common sense, some discernment. And so it's just the mind control. It just starts, on day one. Anyways, that's it, guys. I will put the link in the description. Have a great day.